There is nothing I like more than being chastised in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is TB day 2 still, Conquest day 3, I guess, 2.5. We're going to see what we can get done. I haven't even looked at my TB for the day because I didn't want to be disappointed if anything was locked out. There's an 8 a.m. reset, so we're just going to quickly look through the store, see if there's anything worthwhile. There's so much Cantina stuff. Those hollow projectors, man, I can never get enough of them. And ooh, that looks promising and will probably fail me. Nice. This G12 purple gear has really been causing me havoc lately with trying to get characters to G13. But I've been keeping up on that yellow stuff pretty decently. Let's see, I think I did this for the day. Somebody reminded me to start doing that on Sunday. Perfect. We are overall good. Let's see what TB looks like. Oh, man. All right, we have not hit our hard stop point yet, but we're probably going to start there so that I can make sure that I can get that done without issues. Ooh, or, you know what? I think we're going to start here. Zepho, we're probably screwed on Zepho. Nobody knows how to do these stupid bet mission. Everybody fucks it up. Pisses me off. Morning, Limestone. You know what? Last TB we did not unlock Zepho, and I actually didn't care. It was kind of nice not having to do 5 planets, so whatever. Hate this mission. This is one of those missions that I just really, truly hate. Because I never get literally any assists, ever, from that Millennium Falcon. There we go. Spell all the buffs on all enemies. We like that. Oh God, get out of there. Quick. Tell them no, just hard no. No means no. You don't want to be, being, like, listen, the thing with being an officer is you need good officers, right? You need people that know what they're doing, or at least are willing to learn how to do things right. The unfortunate reality is that very few people can figure that out correctly, which means that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself a lot of the times, which really sucks because if my guild were to ever disband, I would never, ever take an officer position again. Ever. I would 100%, hands down, no. No means no. I could never do it. Start throwing tantrums in Discord. Start asking stupid questions constantly. Just don't. Oh God, I feel for you, man. It's not anyone who, I don't want to say anyone who likes being an officer, because there are definitely some people who are just really good at that stuff and enjoy management. But for the most part, if are you Limestone? Are you O Fortuna? Because oh man, or C Squared? Are you talking about when I eventually retired and come to O Fortuna? The unfortunate thing is like with any other, like with kings, with presidents, with anyone in a leadership position, it's typically the person who least wants to do it who's best fit to do it correctly, which sucks because being an officer sucks. Yeah, I remember the old WoW days. We were talking about WoW on Reddit yesterday. Who do we use? All right, let's do Leia. Rebels. One of these days I need to like go in here and sit down and actually take my time and I guess like put together sets for each day. We also have guys in our guild who have no desire to be officers, but they are very helpful too, and they could take on an officer position, but you know, they're absolutely not. No, no, no. Oof. We're still in phase 1. The nice thing is, for the first 4 days of TB, I don't have to do shit, right? I kind of do this just because I can, but if I lose battles, it doesn't actually matter. Man, you guys were so chatty yesterday. Hope your wife ball taps you in your sleep. Fuck you, Black Hammer. Oh, God. Honestly, I love you guys. I really do. I like that we can joke around and be dicks to each other sometimes, and know that it's all in good fun. C Squared, are you funding this guild excursion on Sunday? Does Master Blaster have your company card, your guild O Fortuna credit card? Hey Tim, good morning. How's it going? We're here, hanging out, seeing what I can do in TB. I gotta put more shit on the walls because I can hear the echo. Oh man, I hope it works out. I really do. My wife said that she'd come into the city with me on Sunday. She might change her mind, but I think that'd be fun. We'll like FaceTime you or something from the bar. I swear I should be sponsored by them. Beer Culture in Midtown. I talk about them constantly. I'm sure at least one person has gone in there on my recommendation. They've definitely gotten dozens of dollars from me talking about them. Maybe they'll give me a shirt. All right, Jedi. I would love more Mega Man art on this wall. I told you, Tim, message me on Discord later. I have my whole Mega Man collection upstairs in the office of different Mega Man stuff. It's the one thing that I like to like sell my games after I'm done playing them. I don't replay games most of the time. It is the one series that I never sell my games. I always have them. I big fan. I've got my Mega Man pixel art tattoo that I get compliments on constantly when my wife and I go out to dinner. Let's do one Kyle in there. Let's do Bastilla. All right. I want to keep the... I want to try to keep the GR guys out of this so that I can use them in the other combat. Now this is one that I will typically play on manual, which is very rare for me when I have the time to do it. It is very hard to do this battle on auto. Typically don't have the time to run it, but I got nothing but time today. I wish I had all my old Mega Man games. I got rid of some of them as a kid, being dumb and not understanding how much I really liked those games. Like my Mega Man X, I probably sold at a garage sale for like $3. But from the time I was like 18 plus, any of the games that have come out, the Legacy collections, I probably have like 4 different copies of the Legacy collection. I have the one from GameCube, I have the one from the Switch. I don't even own a Switch anymore. I bought it digitally on my PS5. It is a franchise that has gotten a lot of money from me over the years. And I will continue. But you know what I haven't played yet, and I'm meaning to play it this summer, and I might do it on stream just for fun. Battle Network. I've never played the Battle Network games. And I've heard that at least the first couple of them are really, really good. I've played the Zero games, the X games, the regular ones. I've played Mega Man Soccer, which was ridiculous, but a lot of fun as a kid. But I've never played Battle Network. And I would like to change that. I'm gonna see if we can try to get these cooldowns to make my life easier in the next round. And tomorrow we should have the raid too. I don't know if I'm gonna do the raid on stream though. I've been going back and forth on doing that. Just because I want to... Oh, I usually do this with Jedi Knight Luke lead. Am I stupid? That's why. Because I want to do some extensive testing on it and like try different things and screw around. And I don't know, it'll be fun for you guys, but I've been going back and forth on if I should bother doing it on the stream or if I should just do it tonight while I'm sitting around. You know, because I did like my Luminara squad, for example, last time, and I really want to keep trying it with different comps to see like what the lowest comp is. But I guess that is educational, right? So maybe I should. It'll make it a long morning. Tomorrow's gonna be a long frickin' day anyway, actually. Doing Three Scoundrels at night, like it's gonna be interesting. My wife's never gonna see me. Gotta pay attention more. Just throw it in auto. This should be fine now, right? All right, we got that out of the way. Let's do dark side because that's gonna close up soon. We're gonna hit our hard stop. Accolade, I like to use first order because that is an easy auto. I don't use first order often. I actually am not a big fan of the team overall. Because they're not very auto friendly, but this battle just happens to be easy, like super, super easy. So here's the thing when it comes to TB Omicrons. I am a fan of them if they can help me auto. The Kyle Katarn Omicron does allow me to auto some battles that I would not be able to auto before, which means that if you are manualing battles, it will make things a decent amount easier for you. I'm just going to throw whatever here because I know it's not going to win. A lot of people give the TB Omicrons like not enough credit, but the way I see it, time is my most valuable resource. And if I can save myself 10 minutes a day, I'm gonna do it. It does not allow me to auto Braca, but it does allow me to auto day 1. It allows me to auto day 3. It allows me to auto day 4. And those are the planets that we do on light side. So in my head, it is 100% worth it. I've heard that the Finn Omicron is also really good and allows some autos. I just am in a deficit right now. So I don't have it. But I would say if you are investing in TB Omicrons, it is one of the better ones. You know, whether or not you're investing in TB Omicrons is obviously a personal choice. But if you are doing it, that's one of the ones that makes more sense. Braca's kind of tough because it's all purge troopers and there's a Jedi mission. So like Leia does really well on Braca. I can auto with Leia, as you saw. Who else can auto? Not Jedi Knight Cal Kestis can auto Braca too, but there's also a special mission for him, so you don't want to do that. I used to do it when my guild had no hope of getting Zepho unlocked, and when I didn't have Seer at R7 yet. But he does allow it technically, which, like, if you're 2-daying Braca is an option if you have his leader Omicron. I wouldn't recommend it otherwise. But with all of the Purge Troopers and a lot of the characters being Force sensitive or Jedi, it just becomes a little bit more difficult to be able to do. I find Braca is one of my least favorite planets on in Rise of the Empire. It's the one that I hate doing the most. Braca and Dathomir. I can full auto Dathomir, but it's still a pain in the ass and I hate it. I don't even know who any of these guys are anymore because of these stupid new pictures. I will say though on Braca that battle with Nine Sister, I still use Jedi Knight Luke lead and it works beautifully, even though it kind of shouldn't work because Nine Sister destroys the speed limiting effect. I don't know why, but on manual it still works really wonders. God. Ba-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it. What are we at? Alright, we got one more Lord Vader. That should be good. My guild can thank me later for doing all this beautiful work for them. All of these battles to make sure other people don't have to do the battles. Yeah, let's do this. Inquisitors. Let's do Vader Inquisitors because we're still in day 2, right? This is Egnards popping in for your workforce block. I'm loving it. There we go. Oh, man. That is... Tim, I'm glad you asked that question because that'll keep me talking for the next 10 minutes, right? And because it seems that nobody is awake this morning and nobody has had their coffee yet, that's what I have to do. It's kind of a loaded question what the best use of crystals are. The real question has nothing really to do with crystals. It has to do with understanding how farms work, right? So basically, when you look at the things that you're farming, you have to look at what is going to take the longest time. So let's say, and we're going to just use general team names or whatever just to be easy. But let's say you're farming a bounty hunter team, right? And you have relics to farm, you have shards to farm, and you have gear to farm, right? And gear is kind of split up now into core gear versus G12 and Chirotech. You want to spend your crystals towards the things that are going to limit you the most, right? So, for example, if it takes 6 months for you to farm a team's shards, which is really 3 months if it's all accelerated, but it's going to take you 5 months to get all of those characters to a usable condition, then it doesn't make sense to refresh the nodes to get those shards, because they're not going to be usable for 2 additional months, right? So like if I'm doing, so actually a really great example of this right now would be like if you're farming Gungans, okay, and you want to get them ready for Jar Jar. If you are able to get Boss Nass done in the next 20 days without refreshing, right, considering the averages of like 1.65 shards per 5 battles, then it doesn't make sense to refresh that node. He'll be ready in time. Whereas Captain Phalanx, you might have to do 2 refreshes on that node in order to get him ready. So it's less a question of crystal usage. It's more a question of how changing what you're spending crystals on is going to affect the time that it requires you to do something. Chirotech can be something that is worth spending crystals on, because that can be a significant limiting factor for people. Generally, when it comes to gear, when it comes to Chirotech, when it comes to anything that you get from a drop, the general accepted rule for most things is that the first set of crystal refreshes is more efficient than buying from the store, but buying from the store is more efficient than the second set of refreshes, right? So if you're buying those first sets of crystal refreshes and you're finding that you are still significantly downplayed by Chirotech, it's worth it sometimes to buy that from the store. I sometimes will buy signal data. I don't recommend that for everybody, because often it's not the relic material that is going to be your sticking point. So for me, at the high end of the game where I have less and less to spend on, I'm spending it on signal data. I'm spending it on like those 1500 crystal Cantina energy packs. I bought all of them because those are the things that I need. Where you are in the game, that might be a little bit different. I also think it is really important for people to have a little bit of a crystal hoard, right? Especially if they're looking to jump on something new. So I try to keep my crystal hoard somewhere around 30 to 40,000 crystals. And that can be really hard to do. I dropped it down to like 10,000 crystals when I was doing Gungans in order to do that for free. And I had to build it back up and really not spend on anything except the 100% hands down most important things. But if you're ever looking to get something that's like brand new, or you're ever looking to jump on a new fleet, or you're ever worried there might be a marquee that you do want to get on right away, right? Like a passion farm that you're hoping might come out, you're going to want to have a considerable hoard. So I try to spend, I spend about 60% of my crystal income each day, and I hoard about 40% of it. Stribly, good morning. Welcome to the party, the coffee party. So Tim, when it comes to like Boss Nass, 55 of 85, Phalanx is 62 of 85, are you planning to have them ready for the Jar Jar event in August? Because that's coming up at the beginning of August, which means if you're planning to, you're gonna need like considerable refreshes. If you're not planning to have them ready for August, it's going to be another 3 to 4 months till it comes out. You're not going to need to do any refreshes, right? It's not going to be worth it for you to do that. And that's the constant question that I'm always asking myself. How am I benefiting from doing a certain thing a certain way? And a lot of the time the answer is I'm not, right? And then I don't spend. I've never tried this before. Let's try this, because I'm good on my missions otherwise. Oh, again, I gotta pay attention. Yeah, if you're just casually farming them, don't refresh at all. There's no reason for you to, because it's going to be another 4 months, 3-4 months until they come back around again for you. That crystal expenditures towards them don't make sense. And that's kind of where we talk about when we talk about like time and deciding whether or not a certain farm is worth it for us. So like when Balin's Skull comes out, I, believe it or not, some people think that I'm someone that jumps on things right away. I usually am not. Gungans are literally the only time I've ever done that, because they're Gungans and I had to. When Balin's Skull comes out, I'm going to be right there with everybody else. I'm going to have them as a marquee. As they release, I believe there's going to be 3 or 4 marquees. I'm going to, do maybe 1 refresh on the first one, 2 refreshes on the second one, 3 refreshes on the third one, just so that they all finish up around the same time. And I'll change that as it goes along, as I see those shards shift, or as we get free shards or not free shards. I will shift that around. Believe it or not, it really doesn't matter. The kit doesn't matter for me. My general rule, I'm not free to play. I do spend some money, and I talked about that with Fat Phil when we did a video last week, which is a really great fun time. We had a few beers and we chatted about the game, and I talked about my spending over the years. I don't spend a lot of money on a monthly basis. Balin's Skull might move the needle, but he'll move the needle in GAC more than anything else. So there's really no reason, as someone who does not play GAC at a super high level, as someone who plays GAC as a turtle and just kind of sits at the top of K2 with doing as little effort as possible, not having Balin's Skull, no matter how good he is, isn't going to hurt me. Gungans, it was not going to hurt me not to have them. Believe it or not, even with the raid, if you look at the raid teams, I tell most people not to farm Gungans. For those who don't know who I am, I was a champion of Jar Jar, and that was my whole thing, so I felt like, hey, I gotta do this, and I gotta jump on this and see if I can do it. Good morning, Throne. Oh, well, it didn't work. If we look at like raid teams and averages and what you need to expect from yourself versus your guild, oftentimes you'll realize and you'll look and say, I actually don't need to do as much as I thought I needed to do. I'm already beating the average that my guild needs. Not everybody in my guild is yet. I am planning to spend more resources towards the raid to help my guild out and bring those averages down a little bit. But I'm looking at like lowest common denominator teams, and the teams that are going to give me the most ROI. Master Qui-Gon, Quadme, Padawan Obi-Wan, that's a team as a 3-man that's going to give me considerable ROI because of the assault battle, that is attached to them. So for that, I'll get a really great team, and I'll also get like a rebate on the materials that I spent over time. So for me, that's worth it. The Luminara team, that's worth it because a lot of that team was already R5 beforehand. the Seppi Sith team, to me, that's worth it because a lot of those guys are already R7 from requirements. So it's looking about the game in terms of like, what can it get me over time? How is this going to help me over time? How is this going to benefit me? And making sure that that's a material benefit before you spend crystals, before you invest in a team. That's my best way, of looking at it. God, I love my Gungans. I'm actually annoyed that they're raid featured because it means everybody's getting them. I wanted them to be a self-contained team where me and only like a couple other silly people had them at R9. All right, we are coming along nice. This is looking good. Yeah, I don't think they're a team that people should focus, honestly, unless you're at the top end and you only have one or two things to focus. I don't think they're the smartest focus for people. It looks like we are done with. It looks like we are done with TB right now. The bonus drops are awesome, but they're also a Chirotech heavy team. So unless you can afford that Chirotech, it'll give you a jump for later. But that's a situational thing. It depends on the person. Everybody's going to be different based on what their account looks like. I just find that when I look at accounts and I do roster reviews and I help people out, that often it's not worth it for people that I'm talking to do it. But then again, the same time, a lot of the time, those same people say, hey, this is a passion project. And the one thing we have to remember is that this is a game. So if you have a passion project, go for it. Have fun. Enjoy the game a little bit. I am out of coffee, guys. We are done with TB. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute to refill my coffee cup. And then we'll get into Conquest. I got a couple nice data discs last night, so it should help me round up and do things a little bit easier. I will be right back. Okay, we are back. We got Conquest. We're at what, 45 minutes. Awesome. We might have time for a roster review or two after this as well. I got a few. Oh, wrong thing. Got a few of these done last night with my just accumulated energy, which brought me into Sector 3. This is a reminder, the goal here is not hyper efficiency. The goal here is to spend as little time on regular nodes as possible, and anything I have to make up on the back end will be able to make up on data crown nodes. I honestly do not remember what any of this stuff is. Separatist, Yoon, 10 battles, full squad of Separatists. 35 any Han, accuracy up 50 times, gain adapt or die 50 times. Now, I did a guide for this Conquest a while ago, but I'm going to be honest, I have the memory of a goldfish. So what I have been doing each and every single time I hit a new spot is I head over to our Discord, I check out the pinned posts, and Moonborn had done a visual guide of my video. So we are gonna just quickly see what well, remember, these were suggestions for myself, right? More so than they are for other people. So let's just quickly see what I want to use. So we're going to do the Separatists, the Gungans. We're going to use Seer with JML. We're going to use Han with JML. And I can actually use regular Han. I realized last time I went through, it didn't really hurt me to use regular Han. All right, so that is good. Pop back into game. Oh, that's GG, silly me. And we're starting with such crap nodes. I hate this. All right, we'll start with these Gungans because they do give a little bit of accuracy up, and I do need a couple of Gungan wins. Moonborn is better than me, man, and he gives me a lot of shit. I'm a big fan of his. I'm really happy that we met. I don't know if he's listening or not. It's probably like 4 or 5 p.m. for him. We met on like a roster. He just asked for a roster review, and I gave him a lot of mediocre advice. And he ended up joining my guild because he was in a guild that was way below his means, and he was like, I don't even really like these guys. They're not active. They're basically the German O Fortuna. That was mean. I don't care. And we've become friends over the last like 6 months or so, and he started doing this stuff just super unofficially, and now like if he wanted to destroy my YouTube, he could, because he has access to it. He can do he's awesome. He's just very creative. He does all my graphic work. He does graphic work for other creators. He does it at very reasonable rates. He did Fat Phil's whole redesign, which looks amazing. He Sherman O Fortuna. It's my best one yet, but he really is awesome, and he's got a lovely family, and one day I'm gonna make it over to Germany, and we're gonna hang out and have a beer or something. We're actually looking into like doing a beer exchange, but I don't know how that's gonna work internationally, sending beer to Germany and vice versa. But he's a great guy, and if you see him on Discord, 100% say thank you. If you have graphic work that needs to be done, reach out to him. He'll give you a super quick, easy quote. He does great stuff. All right, we're gonna do adapt and die. Do I have this squad saved? I do not. I really should, because I can never remember which ones are the leaders and which ones not. Alright, so that's the leader. I can't use that guy. We can't use you. We can do Death Trooper and Range Trooper. Don't actually care if we win, but I do need to get an adapt or die in there. This is like the team I'm most likely to win against. If I can get a second adapt or die in there, that would be super great. And we're just running this basically what would be on auto basic almost, because The goal is to at least get one more adapter die in there. Nice. If I could get another one in, that would be great, but I'm not holding out hope for that. That would be silly. Man, all these teams. Hey Larry, how's it going? I like to see the people that normally I don't get to see because you aren't able usually to pop in on Sundays. So it's nice to see those people here. We're gonna JMK and pray this one. I've been trying this time to use the POW and Master Qui-Gon a little bit more early on because in the first round, my plan was to do it mostly in Sector 4 or Sector 5 and throw OG Qui-Gon in there too. And it does work. But it is really, really risky, and I was dropping more battles than it was worth. So I'm trying to get as few battles done there as possible. Wisconsin. Damn. Cheese, right? That's the way to go in Wisconsin. Oof. Really, he's gonna like drain and let's get these guys up. There we go. Larry, for yourself or for your kids? I can never remember anybody's ages, but I because I know I have people that are college age, and then I have a lot of people who are older and have college age kids, and I can never remember which is which, and I feel like you were more in the dad camp, but now I'm starting to think maybe not. What teams do we got coming up? All right, these, oh God, more, I swear, they just want to throw like the worst fucking teams at me. Nice. I love when Visas goes first like that. Because then I can kill Star Killer without worrying. And really what I need to start, I need to finish POW. I haven't been doing the POW node because I'm so far ahead versus Master Qui-Gon. But I really need to do it because he would be very helpful to me to have him at a decent relic level in Conquest and not have to worry about him dying. All right, I can finally use my freaking JML. We are going to take Luminara out of there. We don't need her. We are going to, wait, what? Oh, because those are all. We are gonna throw Seer in here for those accuracy ups. Where is she? We are gonna throw Han in there for some Han kills. Hey, Cap. Long time no see, right? Captain's here to derail my he's here to derail my live stream because I popped in this morning and basically caused a half hour of chaos. And while he was reviewing other people, I made sure that he just spent the entire time talking about food instead. Let's do this. I don't know. It doesn't tell me on this, so you have to ask your viewers. I don't even know how that YouTube one works. That's cool, man. Cap is 100% better than me. I'm just a guy with a big account, you know. He's somebody he's able to throw his weight around. He knows what he's doing. He's the guy everybody should be listening to more than me. Oh, nice. Han got it. Okay, good. I remember when Cap started as a content creator, and I remember reaching out to him, telling him he could use my account for a review if it was, like, I didn't need a review for help purposes, but I needed if he wanted to use it as like a entertainment thing. And I was like, man, it's really brave of someone to like start as a content creator now with so many big names in there. And he's kicked ass. Like, if you're not listening to him, I hate this so much. This is so stupid. If you're not listening to him, Tuscans. We definitely want Tuscans. Tuscans are beautiful. Larry, to answer your question though on Conquest, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. To answer your question on Conquest, the first Conquest they did had more more random squads. The squads basically were like it was just within a certain subsect, so you'd have only rebels together, you'd have only bounty hunters today, but it could be essentially fully random. And there were so many cheeses you could do because of it. Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna work, but still. That they slowly started taking certain things away. Why Barris in the lead spot though? My guess would be that it's them trying to find squads that are tough but not impossible. So they were working with things that would be tough for people to beat but would not be like crazy. But those first couple of conquests were like a Wild West. I hate this. Like, I had you killed. Oh well, I knew this wasn't gonna work. Let's see. I know I should kill Barris well, I think it's too late to kill Barris, but we'll try it. bring down your stupid Star Destroyer. All right, we're going to throw it on auto. I think I got all my accuracy ups, so it's really not that big of a deal. We'll throw something. We'll do Gungans here or something. That Tuscan node is going to be clutch. That's a really great farming node for people that struggle with other things or need to farm something. That's fine. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Let's throw the Gungans in there. They should be fine. Stero, also, I see you here. You're hanging out with Cap. Good morning. Seeing you here, I'm like, man, I got to do another Tales episode. I have like 3 on the horizon that I want to get done. I know Conquest and I have been talking about doing one before he goes in the military. Pico Brito and I have been talking about doing one. I just got to schedule it. It's so hard to schedule with people that have different like time zones. All right. We'll do these guys here. We're going to go back to JML, let's do Revan. Let's actually put Watt in here because we do not have there's no voluntary Vanguard. Go the old school way before we had voluntary Vanguard at our disposal. There we go. Stero's another one of those guys that just knows how to like throw his weight around, right? I'm just a big guy that has a lot of GP. Another guy that and he does like the stuff that nobody wants to do, datacron testing and shit, and like finding out what actually works. Definitely somebody to listen to. If you listen to me, I tell you to do as little work as possible. Oh, that sucks. Oof. Let's see. I gotta find... Well, I probably could have done Separatists there, honestly. So I should have done that. 10-10. Separatists will work here, though, so we'll do that. Let's do that. The other thing that I have to remember is I don't even remember which things I didn't do last time. Right, there were certain things that I decided not to do, and because they were just a pain, and if I remembered them, I would save myself so much time. But I'm obviously not going to remember, which is dumb of me. Dude, he punches up huge everywhere, right? There are some guys that came into the game later or like took a break, and they had to like figure out how to do good instead of just being like, oh, I've played this whole time and it's easy. So he's somebody I give a lot of credit to as well. He's finished. Possible. That's good. So you're almost there, right? That's those first couple of really big farms. They're the hardest to do. Once you've gotten through a couple really big farms, it becomes a lot easier overall to do these things. It does make your life a lot easier. Failure is not an option. I don't remember what I used to do this with no Galactic Legends. We'll do Galactic Republic Jedi. No, you're not a Jedi. Yeah, sure. Let's try it. Such a big boy tank. Dead. There we go. Cap only Cap only did the one GAC for me, which was a lot of fun. And I would like to do it again with some other people, just to be silly. I did just come off of 3 wins as a turtle. And I am at the very, it doesn't give you the heal, right? I know Bones wants a shot at my account, and I want to give him that shot too. I am at the very top. I just came off of 3 wins. I think I'm on a 5-win streak total. I think I have been invigorated by Cap when he was on 3 Scoundrels, and he inadvertently called me out. I don't even know if he remembers, but talking about GAC and his positioning in GAC, and I was like, screw that guy. I'm getting back there. So I'm at the tippy top right now. I think I have to win 1 more. Maybe I have to win 2 more, but we'll see what my matchups are like. If Cap ran my account constantly, I'd probably be in like the top 500. If he could run my account in GAC on a weekly basis, he would have more tools than he knows what to do with. But then I'd also probably have an R9 JML, and that's not happening. We'll set the bounty on an R9 JML for $1,000 donation to my favorite charity, which is Child's Play. You show me you donated $1,000 to Child's Play Children's Charity, I will R9 JML literally right now. I don't even know if I have the materials to do it. I will buy the materials. Let's go with this. I wonder if Separatists can beat Separatists easily. Let's find out. We want you dead. Whether or not you should R9 JML is a personal choice. I think it is a great option. It is a very good, strong R9 if you are a GAC player. I think you can get a lot of ROI out of it. If you are somebody that heavily invests in GAC, as somebody who puts in as little effort as possible into GAC, I do not want to do it because I will not get the same benefit from it. JML at R8 does exactly what I need him to do. There's no reason for me to take him to R9. When I need more R9s for ROTE, he will be one of the first ones that I do for that team. C squared, GG versus Maldalorians. I mean, probably not, if we're completely honest. Maldalorians are tough, especially if Canderous is in that squad. That can be a really, really tough squad to kill. I need more Han kills. I don't really care about the Separatist kills as much. Let's do... Can't do a revive anyway because this of who it is. Let's do somebody fast. Let's get Han back in there. So again, I've set my $1,000 bounty, Child's Play Children's Charity. I will literally do it immediately. Oof, that sucks. There we go. Nice. We have one more refresh worth. Again, I don't think I'm buying Luthen shards. I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather buy the signal data right now, so we're going to pass on that. I need more battles in hard nodes, I think. Oh, no, I'm actually fairly close. Gunkin wins, not a big deal. We got 14. Let's do one more Gungan battle to get that out of the way. Oh, God. If this will even work, I don't know. They take so many turns that this might not even. Hopefully it does. I have been saying C-squared since the beginning when Jabba first came out and everyone's like, oh, Bib Fortuna is going to be. By the way, let me just stop and say it is so stupid that your guild hates Jabba so much when Bib Fortuna is his second in command and your guild is, I know, not actually named after him, but is kind of, sort of, within the Star Wars universe named after him. As far as Bib Fortuna goes, I've been saying when everyone was predicting him as a marquee that he would definitely be the lifter when Jabba needed a lifter. So I expect Bib Fortuna to come to the game. I don't know when, but he is definitely going to be a Conquest unit. Hands down, no questions asked. Yeah, but Fortuna is. I don't know why they hate Jabba, but they do. And I'm prioritizing these JML Han kills over other things pretty much on purpose, because this is a more active thing that I have to do, whereas winning with Separatists I can do pretty passively when I need to do that. He's coming. I'm telling you, he's coming. Jabba's still so good that he doesn't need the lifter just yet. But he will be coming to. He will be coming to the game when Jabba starts to lose relevance. You know, Jabba's still relevant right now. He does really good regardless of anything else. There's no need for him yet. When he's needed, he will be there. I think, Baroness, you're probably right. I'd say probably about a year at this point. Honestly, maybe even a little bit longer, but I think about a year from now would make sense. Perfect. I got all 7 kills with Han. That is beautiful. We love that. Nothing super important. Ooh, another Night Sister node. We want that Night Sister node. Okay, let's see. These guys might be a little too low stamina to do this, but we're going to try it. They might need to be at like 80, 90 in order for me to get the right kills. But we'll see what happens. Oh, perfect. God, Zalbarn mission. Let's fucking go, guys. Just sapping my whole fucking team. I do not care if you kill him. I am happy now. Perfect. This team, I have no idea. I'm using it specifically for the I'm using it specifically for the global feat. Because both of those characters are very low right now, I'm just putting them behind somebody really strong. They do pretty well even with them at G11, but outside of having data disks, I don't know if it's going to work super, super well. You know, and sometimes we talk about, do we want two really good teams or one like super team? I'm going to hold off on this Night Sister node because I want to do that with my Separatists. So the same thing like yesterday, I used the last of my energy on doing a few nodes. What do I need? I need Imperial Trooper. Well, let's see. Night Sisters sometimes struggle, but I have Leader's Resolve and I do have a Zealous Ambition. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me through this relatively easily because of all the healing. That's beautiful. Love that. This is my last one, right? Yeah. Okay. I have 92 energy left. What do I have here? Saw Gerrera has to survive. Sabine Wren has to win. I'll probably do that with JML. Mine. Did I get any bounty hunter? I did. My Imperial Troopers can only do so much, so we're going to do this against a regular node. I did it last time. it's something I'll come back to at the end, because at the end, when it comes to boss feats, if I am not sure I can do it in one try, I just wait till the end and I see like, oh, do I actually have to do this? And a lot of times the answer is no. So I'm gonna wait for that one anyway to see if it's even necessary. And 27, 4. All right, that's not that bad. I think I need some resistance wins up here. 2 resistance wins and Ewoks. Ewoks I'm going to need to do with JML, but JML is indisposed right now. So we are just going to throw our resistance together. And hit him where it hurts. Get some of these freaking Datacrons. I actually wonder if my Ewoks could beat this node. Yeah, I use him in pretty much every sector. He's very, very, very good. I mean, I'm at 11.9 million and I still use him so heavily. So what I try to do is use him at the beginning of a day. I do my Conquest in 2 sections. The beginning of the day is what we're doing right now. And then the end of the day is me just using my daily energy that accrued. I try to use him during the beginning of the day so that he can be refreshed for the next day. And I try to avoid using him at the end of the day, which is why we're doing these kind of like backtrack feats right now. Because I want to get some more of my separatist kills, which is what I'll do later on in the day, especially with like that Night Sisters node, which is like perfectly available for it. The global, that's what I'm actually trying to avoid. Like if we look, let me pull up Discord real quick, but let me get to it. If we were to pull up Discord, right, and go back to this, no, not threads, pins. You know, I don't know, you were here before, but I have isolated, you know, that same team for that Master Qui-Gon and Qui-Gon survival, and also being the sector choice of doing all 3. It is doable. I did win some battles with it, but it became very, very risky, so I'm kind of trying to avoid that double dip. We're going to try Ewoks here for science. Who's my leader? There he is. I don't know if it's going to work. They're not really great modded. But Bad Batch doesn't have any speed stuff on them. So maybe. What is he? Look at that. Beautiful. Frees me up. Love that. That is very, very helpful. Definitely doable. Definitely doable. Believe it or not, I don't re-roll Datacrons a lot, so I try to avoid having to do a lot in the Datacron node in Sector 5. We'll see with this set. We'll see what happens. Let's just check on what this is looking like right now. Yeah, they are sucking at this frickin' mission this week. That's gonna suck. Oh well. Definitely not doing Zepho. Okay, they're doing fine though with that. And we'll grab this. Okay, I'm going to take one more really quick break to go to the bathroom. Not that you needed to know that. And then we're going to try to get at least one roster review in. We do have our line on Discord, and it is piling up a little bit, so I want to be able to get those guys out. Unlike Captain Shots Fired, I try to get them done within a week. But I think he's in a much higher demand than I am nowadays. So I will be right back in about 2 minutes. All right, we are back. Let's pop Discord up here. I was just looking at my phone really quick, and funny story that I can't share too many details of. I have been teaching martial arts classes at a local special needs camp and camp for students with kids with like social, I guess I don't know the right word for it, but have trouble socially. And yesterday, one of the kids who has never participated, he hates participating, he just sits there on his phone. He had asked me, hey, will you do a TikTok video with me? And I don't have a TikTok account. I don't watch a lot of videos. He wanted to do like a TikTok dance, like a viral dance. I'm cursory aware of these things because my wife is on TikTok and loves that stuff. And as a joke, I had said to him, hey, if you participate the entire class, the whole hour, and you work the whole time without complaining, I will do this for you. I'll do a dance with you after the class. And to this kid's credit, we were outdoors, slightly in the shade, but still sun beating down. It was like 92, 93 degrees. He did literally the entire class, and I sat there with him for 15 minutes learning a ridiculous TikTok dance. And I was just looking at my phone, and he found my business account and followed me and sent me the video. It's very funny. I can't share it, unfortunately, but it just made me laugh. Let's see if we can get this. See if we can get this roster review in. We're gonna try to do at least one a day throughout this week to get everything done. We got our friend Reaper here. What time is on our timestamps? 1:37, right? 1:37:00. Let's see. We got his .gg, 2 Leviathans, 2 Profundities, 16 Executors, Rebel Roundup, CT2, CT1, CT3, CT2, No Fanatical Devotion for Finished Bo-Katan Mandalore, Jabba for mods, Quad Maynard team, Maul and his team, Inquisitors for Reba Shards and Fanatical Devotion, Leviathan for Daily Crystals. Favorite characters, new Bo. After that, I will go for efficiency. I'm not here to roast rosters. Like, if it seems like I'm roasting a roster, it's mostly because I know the person and I know that they can take me being a little bit less serious with them. Like, for example, C Squared and his O for Tuna Gang. I give them a little bit more of a hard time when I do roster reviews for them because they are a fun group and I hang out on their Discord and we can be silly together, so I like to give them a hard time. People who are active on Discord and I chat with often, I give them a hard time. I try not to give people a hard time otherwise, because we all have our accounts for our own reasons and it is a game. Let's see what we got here. Reaper, Kyber 5, 7 million, Fleet rank 5. Seems like we're getting a little bit of lag here. I just want to refresh the page. Close Steam too. I was on Steam this morning talking to my brother. That seems to be the only way I can talk to him. All right, so he's got Profundity going at 5. Mostly Executors. So, I mean, you have 2 Leviathans. People are going to start getting it. You can definitely get those Fleet Crystals without Leviathan. I think it's a great ship. We'll see if it should be a close priority for you depending on where you are at. Mark 6 in a Profundity opening lineup seems to do wonders for getting people easier, not easy, but easier wins. Let's look at your raid history to get an idea of your guild. I think I did something for your guild fairly recently because the guild name is very familiar. 413 million. 57 million. So right now your average is going to be about 1 million per person. All right. And you actually hit that when I looked at your raid. So you don't want to over prioritize the raid, but I'm sure your guild is going to want to advance a little bit. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'd love to see more CT3s. You're doing CT3. Ground War you should be doing at CT3 with having Jedi Master Luke. You're only doing it at CT2. So let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah. If you're gonna run Jedi Master Luke or Jedi Knight Luke with Jedi Master Luke, you're gonna want more speed than this. But for the purpose of Ground War, what you're gonna want to do is take all the speed off of him. Give him like a crit avoidance arrow and make Jedi Knight Luke the leader. Put him with Jedi Master Luke. Jedi Knight Revan is a really good choice. Hermit Yoda. And do we have... Oh, no. I would say General Kenobi for the mass attack, but General Skywalker might work really well as well. And basically your entire strategy to CT3 of Ground War is going to be to use the granted special to get Jedi Knight Luke his turn as soon as possible, which is going to speed limit the rest of the team. Then you're going to work your way through pretty slowly on each wave so that, one, you can start each round with a mass stun, and two, you want to end each round with the granted special so that Jedi Knight Luke will start each round. And if you do that, Ground War is actually relatively easy with what you have right now. Let's check what else we got. Places of Power, you can definitely do it CT3 with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. It is annoying. It does take a long time. So when people don't want to do it, I understand, since it becomes a 1-star, which is not fun for anybody. Yeah, he should definitely be able to do it. It's just understanding the strategy. Forest Moon, it's always interesting when Forest Moon is less than Rebel Roundup. Okay, so if you do Veers, Stark, Piet, Dark Trooper, it might work with Moff Gideon. I like Range Trooper for this. It might work with Moff Gideon. If you do that and you mod them all for really high speed as much as possible, you honestly definitely should be able to do Forest Moon at CT2. I would say 60 to 75. Oh, these are decent mods too. 60 to 75% chance that you'll be able to do CT3 of Forest Moon. I really need to start a service of running assault battles for people when they have the ability to do them, but are struggling. You just have to remod some of these guys so that they're as high speed as possible, and the enemy team shouldn't take a turn. Range Trooper is better at that than Moff Gideon, but you might have enough turn meter going through that shouldn't be a problem. Ground War, CT Shadows, Fanatical Devotion. Let's see where we are with Bo, shall we? Beskar, good. Kel, I think, is done, right? Okay, good. Ig 12. Oh, so did you finish Bo-Katan? I should have checked that first. No, we didn't. You're just probably waiting for the event. And Paz. So it seems like you're just waiting for the event because you have all 4 of them. So Bo-Katan Mandalore should be done relatively soon. Let's see how you're doing Secrets and Shadows. Probably with these guys. So once again, it's a pain I don't necessarily want to redo this mission over again, but the nice thing is that with Merrin, if you give her a Zeta and you invest in this team, because I know you don't really have the Zetas here, you can probably do at least CT2, maybe with just old Daka Zeta and Merrin Zeta. Is it worth it right now for you? Maybe not, but it's something to keep in mind. Really, the CT ones are the most important because you have a lot going on. So maybe don't do that right now. I want to check on your Inquisitors to see where these guys are going. Oh, so you got a lot of work to do on them. Okay. Jabba for mods. Let's check out these tools here. See where we're at. Jar Jar, I'll do my best. It's not really a great answer, but I did see your question. Okay. How are we on our Leviathan? We're going to check the actual characters for Leviathan in a minute. Executor, just for funny. So you have both of them. Let's go back to our collection. We'll see what this is looking like. Okay. Still gotta... I would start Cursitan now. And the reason why is as a Cantina farm, he can be a real pain in the butt when you want signal data. I would start... Since you don't need him immediately, but you want to get Jabba, do like 3 or 4 battles on him a day and do the rest towards signal data. That way, when you really need him, it's not going to be as daunting for you. Skiff. Got Malgus. Okay, good. So you're farming up the Mark 6. That's nice. I like that. Maybe bring Sith Empire Trooper up a little bit just to make it a little bit more useful. Like I said, I have heard a lot of great things about Mark 6 Interceptor in the opening lineup for Profundity when you need to counter other Leviathans. So it's kind of like a stopgap on having to speed up a Leviathan farm. Fury class. Don't have Fury class unlocked yet. That's okay. Quad May and her team. So, Quad May and her team are a team that I am highlighting as being something that is a priority for me. As a player, because I'm at the higher end and I need to push a lot of raid participation. I don't necessarily know if it is the best option for you. Let's just take a look. At that collection real quick. Queen. You have Queen, all right, and Master Qui-Gon's still 4 stars. Padawan is still 4 stars. And how are we getting our raid points? Okay, so probably bought the Lightspeed bundle, right? Well, definitely bought the, because nobody in their right mind brought Ethkoth up on their own. So that Luminara squad on its own is putting in some work for you. for the raid. My fear with the Quad Maze squad, unless you go all out when Master Qui-Gon becomes farmable, you will never reach a point of it being useful for you in the raid, because it's going to take you like between 2 and 5 months to raise him up, and that's going to already be towards the end. I would say here, like, you have B2 at R5 already, you have most of your separatists at R5 already. A secondary option that might be better is that B2 led Sith separatist squad, though I don't know, Meathead said they might be nerfing it, they're keeping an eye out on it. I really wish that they would like let us know things. I don't particularly think that the squad is super overpowered, but you could essentially probably like double your raid score with that B2 led team, using Sidious and Darth Maul as 2 very quick, easy projects to bring up. So it becomes a question of, are we doing Quad May for the raid, or are we doing Quad May because it's a great squad and you enjoy those characters? If the answer is it's for the raid, only do it if you're planning on heavily investing on getting those 2 characters up pretty quickly. Otherwise, I think that Separatist Sith squad is going to be a more ideal. It's going to be a more ideal thing for you. I think that Jabba should be your biggest priority right now after Bo-Katan Mandalore is done. I think that Maul and his team, they're a good team, but they're not going to really offer you too much. So I would say Jabba's really important. I would say your guild is at a point where Reva is going to... with Newt, I haven't done it with Newt. I do it with Stop. So are you doing B2 Maul City? Or are you talking about just Maul Sidious Newt? Jar Jar. Is that the full team as a 3-man? Because I haven't seen that. But if we're talking about Maul Mandos here for Maul and his team, I think they're a good squad, but they're not going to really help you with what you want to accomplish in terms of efficiency. They're kind of just going to be a GAC and TW thing. It's not going to be like a great, solid overall grouping for you. Jabba is going to be incredibly important for you. Inquisitors are going to be incredibly important to you. That's going to open up your ROI on Fanatical Devotion, but also guilds at that 400 to 500 level, they are 100% looking for someone who is Reva ready. So when you say, yeah, are we talking about the 3-man, or are we talking about as the 5-man with this, or the B2 lead? Right, are you talking about like a Maul Sidious Newt 3-man hard stop? I'm not saying that you're wrong, I'm just trying to figure out, right? Because I haven't heard this yet, those 3. I'm going to try it tomorrow. Maul lead, Maul Sidious Newt. I'm going to try it tomorrow because my raid pops tomorrow. But basically when we talk about the raid for this guy, for Reaper, you know, your guild is hitting about 50 million, your average is about 1 million, you're doing 1 million. Your guild, even if you double your score, you are basically doubling your commitment to your guild, and that should be pretty good for your guild. So I wouldn't be looking to invest in heavy squads for the raid. So looking at something like, again, modding is going to be really important. Either doing a B2 lead with the Sith Seppies, or as some of the people here on stream are saying, Maul Sidious Newt as a well-modded 3-man will push you over the edge for your guild in being able to do exactly what you need, right? And being able to provide above what your guild is doing. So I wouldn't invest too heavily in a quad May squad unless it's like, oh man, I really, really, really want quad May, or you're willing to like really, really buckle down on Master Qui-Gon as soon as he becomes farmable. Otherwise, you're not going to see the return that you want to see. I think Jabba and Inquisitors are going to be your really solid, these need to get done right now squads. Jabba first. You can, start farming the rest of the Inquisitor shards that you need while you're working on Jabba. At that point, I know you have SLKR and he can do the Fury class Proving Grounds. And I would completely skip Maul. It's not as in, I should say, as in Maul Mandos right now. Oh, Azurite, you're killing me. Oh my god. I would completely skip Maul Mandos right now. It's a luxury team that you don't necessarily need. I'm not telling you to skip Leviathan. I would farm up the ships and I would reassess as you start to get close to finishing up Inquisitors. If you're starting to see... Seems to be especially more... If you're starting to see a lot of Leviathans pop up in your fleet shard, then start to go for Leviathan, right? If you're not starting to see a lot of Leviathans popping up yet at that point, then you can start looking at other squads, and you can start shoring up other things. Like Treya is a great squad to have for GAC. You already have that Wampa Omicron. You have Rey. Let's see. Did you do the Zori? You do. Thank God. Everyone that has Rey and doesn't do that Zoricron, it makes me cry a little bit inside. This is where you might want to start investing more, especially as you're starting to think about Leviathan. Even just for the sake of your Malgus squad, bringing up somebody like Bastila Shan Fallen, bringing up Range Trooper is really the backbone, the unsung hero of a traditional Imperial Trooper team. Visas does really well in that Star Killer team. It makes them a lot more annoying to fight. These are just like minor projects that you could be working towards to kind of help round out some of the squads that you have. There's nothing else here that looks like glaring to me. Nothing that's like problematic in those groupings. But I would definitely skip Maul, and I would strongly consider and decide like, hey, why are you doing Quad May? If it's personal gain and you're gonna spend some crystals towards it, then okay, do it and prioritize it. But if you're gonna back burner in it and do like 5 or 10 battles a day, you're probably not gonna see the return that you wanna see on that team in the time that you wanna see it. Azurite, I mean, you're welcome to go for Ahsoka as a first GL. She might get an economy event, which would be really nice. Remember, Leia's kind of sucked. But also keep in mind, it seems like Ahsoka's going to be an expensive GL. So that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. You already have to do Ahsoka Tano snips at Relic 9. I see at least one more, if not 2 more R9s. I actually think that she will have a raid attached to her. believe it or not, if you think about the timelines of the raids, she will be coming out November, December. We're due for a new raid in about February. And if you look at like Leia and you look at Jabba, they came out about a month or two before a new raid. So the idea of a next raid being Ahsoka themed is pretty big. And I don't think they're telling us that, because if they start to announce a new raid right now, people won't even spend towards this raid, right? So I think they're kind of keeping that close to the chest, but keep in mind that there's a good possibility that the next raid will be Ahsoka themed. Jar Jar, the special mission for Zepho, I'm not an expert. I have two Omicrons. I have the lead Omicron, which is irrelevant for that because Seer has to lead. I also have the Whirlwind Omicron, which helps a lot. I honestly just throw my JMK, my fast mods on Seer, and my JML mods on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and I win about 80% of the time doing that battle. My guild, where a lot of my members, they're struggling with it because they're not remodding like they should. You definitely need to remod for that event. There's I know some theories you want like high protection, low health because of the thermal or the way that the damage works, the blowing up damage. What I've noticed is that the only time I lose, and this really pisses me off because I actually lost this battle too, is I started that second round and then got one turn, and then the enemy, did a turn, everybody assisted, did a turn, everybody assisted, did a turn, everybody assisted. And by the time I took 12 instances of damage before I got a second turn, it's really an annoying battle. I freaking hate it. I hate that it's so stupid that it's 30 wins and Mandalore is only 25 wins and Mandalore is easier. You don't even have to re-mod for Mandalore. It's crazy. I'm annoyed by it. I am looking for better ways to do it to help my guild out and be more reliable with it as well. Lightspeed bundles, I think they are going to return. Yeah, of course. Lightspeed bundles are definitely going to return. It's a matter of when. They don't want them to come around too often, because if they come around too often, nobody's going to spend towards them. And they also want you to have that fear of missing out, right? Where you can't go like, oh, I'll just get it in a month. I think you'll probably look at something like every 6 months. I think probably the next time you see some of those major Lightspeed bundles unfortunately return is probably around November. And the reason I say November is that's the anniversary of the game, and they usually throw a ton of bundles our way for the anniversary of the game. So you'll probably see a lot of bundles at that time, so hopefully it doesn't kick you in the ass, but that's probably, in my opinion, the next time that we are going to see a non-new Lightspeed bundle, right? An older Lightspeed bundle. With that said, guys, this is day 2 of TB. We're all done for today. Again, we're gonna do this all week. Tomorrow morning, I might have less time. I gotta run to the vet for my cat. She's fine. I just gotta pick up some stuff, so I'm not gonna have as much time. But we're gonna get through TB day 3. We'll get through our Conquest. We'll try to get through another roster review. Do what we gotta do. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're a TB officer, I did my TB officer video yesterday. I've been getting great feedback on it. It's really generalized information. I'd love to hear from officers about things they might be more interested in going in detail on, talking about and